Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. I'm glad you guys are back for another video. Week 11 Saturday recap. I know I've tried to get this caught back up before I started the Week 12 previews, and we're right here. So enjoy the Week 11 Saturday recap. We got 3 games on tap, all Western Conference games. And yeah, we'll kind of talk about everything, stats and stuff like that further on in the videos. But until then, let's go check it out. Let's head to San Diego, where there was not any scoring in the first quarter, but the main highlight here is going to be David Elder getting the handoff, Atoa Fox forcing the fumble and recovering his own forced fumble to give him the ball. We head to the second quarter, 4th and goal. Ernesto Lacayo on for a 19-yard field goal. Kick is up, is good, 3-0. Next possession for the Wranglers, they work their way down to a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Ramon Atkins, RPO keeper, up the middle, 7-3. Just a little bit of a blunder here, 3rd and goal for the Strike Force. Johnson rolls out to his right, tipped, bobbled, caught, and intercepted by Kieran Page for the Wranglers. 19 seconds to play in the first half. Wranglers looking to extend their lead, and they will. Quarterback draw up the middle, or design quarterback scramble, but it's a touchdown. Final play of the first half. Ernesto Lacayo is going to line it up from 37 yards out. He hits it 14-6. To the third quarter we go. It's going to be Rudy Johnson sending his men in motion. RPO keeper takes off up the middle, goes to the outside left side and in for the score. To the fourth quarter we go. Start of the fourth quarter, down by 1. Rudy Johnson throws, has a man. It's intercepted by Kieran Page's second of the night, and he's got a good return here with a couple of blockers to midfield and a little bit past it. 3rd and goal here on the possession after the interception. Ramon Atkins is going to pump fake, look over the middle, find Arlen Bruce, 8-yard touchdown to extend the lead. 2nd and goal here for the Strike Force on the ensuing possession. Johnson fires over the middle, tipped. Kieran Page, nope, caught. Jalen Sample, touchdown. We have a tie game at 20 here with 7 minutes to play, but it won't be for long. It's a kickoff highlight, so you know what that means. Arlen Bruce takes it out of the end zone. He's going to stutter step. He's got some blockers. He's going to take this all the way, coast to coast. Wranglers back on top. 2nd and 6 with about 5 minutes to play in the game. Rudy Johnson, RPO keeper, up the middle. Cameraman, you got to follow that cameraman. Strike Force take the lead. We're going to go 1st and 15, under 4 minutes, 3.5 to play. Atkins drops back. They're down by 1. Pressure up the middle, and he's going to get, I thought this was a safety, but it's a forced fumble, and San Diego recovers at the 2. Very next play, it's going to be 1st and goal. Johnson sends the men in motion. It's Edward Vander up the middle. He breaks the plane. San Diego 7-point lead. Did I say 7-point lead? Well, it's a kickoff highlight. You know what that means. Something good from one team, and it's a deuce. It's a 9-point lead. Under a minute to go here, just trying to get back into this. It's going to be a motion handoff. Nolan Susel off the left side and in. 3-point game. The comeback hinges on an onside kick. Unfortunately, San Diego gets it. 35-32, your final. Let's head over to Tucson, Arizona. Gunslingers and Sugar Skulls getting it going. 2nd and 3 from the 5-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Keyshawn Harper takes it in for the opening game's touchdown. Ensuing kickoff, Tyler Huddle is going to kick this off and up man, and it's going to be San Antonio recovering it. They're going to get their second possession before Tucson has one. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Collazo goes through his progressions, wide open. Naquan Murray for the score. Tucson can't do anything, so San Antonio takes over. Collazo goes through his progressions again, heaves it deep. It's a 24-yard diving touchdown for Cali Rashad, 21-0. 6 minutes to play. Tucson needs some points desperately to climb back into this game. James Williams off the right side has a block, and he is in for the score. But San Antonio is going to take really good control here. It's going to be Joaquin Collazo taking a tush push in to make it 28-6. To the second half we go. 3rd and 11. Tucson desperately needing some points here. Reyna is going to be pressured. He's going to roll out of the pocket, pump fake throw, and it's going to be a really bad interception thrown by Reyna. 2nd and 2 for San Antonio, trying to blow this thing open, and they will. Cali Rashad breaking off tackles and getting in for a touchdown. Next for the Sugar Skulls, 4 minutes to play. 4th and 10, and a little bit of luck as the San Antonio defender stumbles. That's enough for Jerome Buckner. A minute to play in the third quarter. It's going to be Cali Rashad taking this one up the middle. Have yourself a day. Mr. Rashad, his 3rd touchdown of the evening. This is just kind of the day that Tucson has had. Reyna drops back, can't find anyone open. He's just going to end up getting sacked. 1st and goal from the 5, and this is just a very good effort play. It's going to be bouncing off a defender, and look at the block by Jorge Reyna in order to spring Jameis Williams in for the touchdown. This is a play that I absolutely love. Men in motion. It's a motion screenplay. Busts wide open, 20-yard touchdown for Austin Upshaw. And final scoring play of the night for either team, but I love this play too because Rain is just going to heave it deep over the defender. Harrington brings it in, 48-28, your final. Gunslingers take it. Final game of the evening, Vegas and Arizona. It's going to be a motion handoff on 3rd and goal from the 2 as Ron Brown goes through the trenches and in for the score. It's Vegas' turn to respond here. It's going to be men in motion, toss out to the right side. Antonio Wimbush is going to take this and dive across the goal line and get in. Vegas will have a drive stall out, but from midfield, practically Ben Derby from 38 yards kick is up. It is true, 10-6. Arizona with a chance to take a lead. They will do just that. It's an option keeper, jukes a defender out of his shoes, and in goes Dalton Sneed. Forgot to mention Jaden Delores getting the start, but here he is firing a missile to CJ Wyndham to retake the lead for Vegas. We go right before the end of the first half here. Vegas looking to tack another touchdown on. They will. It's another missile and a great catch by Quentin Randolph. However, to tack some points on before the end of the first half, Arizona and Dawson Evans are going to have a 41-yard field goal attempt. It is up. It is true. 24-15 halftime. 5 minutes into the third quarter, it's going to be a motion fake handoff. Delores is going to look, kind of roll out of the pocket. Still has Wimbush open for the touchdown, 31-15. Under 3 to play here, facing their own 3rd and goal. Ron Brown up the middle. He fumbles, but recovers his own fumble in the end zone to make it a touchdown. You know what this means. Kickoff highlight could mean one of a couple things, but we've already gotten this far. 47 yards. Antonio Wimbush is going to find the hole. He's got the kicker to beat. He's got one man to beat in Ethan Castleberry, and he will. It's a touchdown, Vegas and Antonio Wimbush. However, Arizona is not out of it yet. They're down by 15 points. 3rd and 5. Sneed finds Brown out of the backfield, and he's going to make his way into the end zone. A crazy way to improvise a touchdown here. 1st and goal. Delores looks like he's going to run. He's going to throw it wide open. Quentin Randolph. Arizona looking to respond, though. It's going to be Ron Brown up the middle and in. As simple as that. 45-37. But Vegas will respond in kind as well. As going to be Jaden Delora on an RPO keeper getting through the defender and in. 52-37, your final. Vegas wins. All right, so we've seen the highlights, we've seen the lowlights, turnovers, sacks, touchdowns, anything and everything in between. Let's dive into the stats a little bit, form some opinions, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, form your own, whatever the case could be. It doesn't matter. Let's talk stats, let's talk shop, let's talk about it. We have a 35-32 victory in favor of the San Diego Strike Force, and I'll be honest, this is a game that I think Northern Arizona kind of just let slip away from them. But let's talk game leaders right here. 19 of 27 for 188 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks for Ramon Atkins. He's your leading rusher for Northern Arizona. 8 carries, 40 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Deshaun Stoudemire, your leading receiver, 7 catches, 73 yards, no touchdowns. On the other end, Rudy Johnson, 6 for 12, 27 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He's your leading rusher for the Strike Force, 21 carries, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's just an insane stat to see that for San Diego. And then receiving leaders, this is also an insane stat, 2 catches, 12 yards for Edward Vander. I feel like it should be flip-flopped when you talk about San Diego. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side, it's, man, when in terms of yardage, you feel, God, I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but pretty close. You feel like the team that outgains and is just really, really good on offense, churning out yards. They're most likely to put up points, and that isn't the case here. At 6 for 10 on 3rd down for Northern Arizona, 1 for 6 for San Diego, 0 for 2 on 4th down, and 1 for 3 on 4th down for Northern Arizona. You like to think that those turnover on downs kind of came a little early in the game. There was no scoring in the first quarter. They were just kind of feeling each other out, it seems. And then Northern Arizona, they were able to, get the ball in the end zone. They were able to go up 14-6, bookended at the end of the first half by Ernesto Lacayo field goals to get San Diego on the board. But through the first half, San Diego had no touchdowns. It wasn't until the third quarter when Rudy Johnson had a touchdown and put San Diego on the board, and they were still trailing. And then San Diego, they just went on a tear there in that fourth quarter, capped off by their touchdown to get the victory, or the Edward Vander touchdown to put them up 33-26, the Ernesto Lacayo deuce. And then you have Northern Arizona score a touchdown, and I kind of get the thought process behind what they were trying to do. They went for 2 and didn't get it. And I think what they were trying to do is get the victory of going for 2, going down 35-34, and then hopefully kicking a deuce to go up by 1. At that point, though, are you playing for the victory because field goals and long kicks and deuces like that are all at a premium. Would you have been better to just try and kick the extra point there and try the deuce and possibly send it to overtime? Maybe they were being aggressive with it. Either way, if they didn't get it, they'd still need a defensive stop, and they didn't. San Diego ended up running out the clock, but ultimately it just came down to San Diego with their offense putting up those points with a Rudy Johnson touchdown, an Edward Vander touchdown, Ernesto Lacayo deuce. Yeah, it's insane to me. It's insane to me that the defense was able to step up when they did for San Diego. Atkins fumbled in the end zone, but San Diego recovered at their 2-yard line. Now, granted, the extra point was blocked, but after that, Ernesto Lacayo hits a deuce, but it's that San Diego defense that was able to force that turnover. And it seems like this is something of a reoccurring theme for Northern Arizona, where they can get very close, but then something happens, whether it's a failed attempted Hail Mary, a turnover on downs, or something like that against Northern Arizona, or against Arizona, and Northern Arizona lets the Rattlers come back and kind of win that one. This game, I mean, they've let some games slip away from them as of late. And I know I've said that the wins are there, and they are. They're just not closing out these games. And it's no fault on Northern Arizona's defense. Northern Arizona's taking the ball away. Kieran Page had both interceptions tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And there's just something like the defense is kind of a bend but don't break. But again, that moment where you had back-to-back San Diego touchdowns and then the deuce for Lacayo is just kind of well, they're not out of it, but it's a 9-point game. How do you take care of this? And they just couldn't. So even though they pretty much no offensive touchdowns, Northern Arizona did not allow an offensive touchdown in the first half, they still lose the game. And it's bad. And, you know, that's where the offense for Northern Arizona stalls out. No points in the first, no points in the third. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It sucks. Kudos to San Diego for pulling out the victory, kind of their second victory to come from behind, you know, their controversial touchdown against Vegas and what have you. This game, I mean, they're pulling out wins when they need it. So with that, let's go take a look at our other 2 recaps, our bets, and we'll get out of here. All right, so recap number 2. This one caught me by surprise, I'll be brutally honest with you. I didn't expect it to go the way that it did, but I mean, kudos to where it's due. Let's talk about it. Stats over the face. 48-28. San Antonio goes into Tucson and knocks off the Sugar Skulls, and they had control of that entire first quarter. We'll talk about it in a sec. Let's talk about our game leaders first. Joaquin Collazo, 12 of 17, 153 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Callie Rashad, 10 carries, 52 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And Nyquan Murray, 4 catches, 61 yards, and 1 touchdown. Over to the other side, Jorge Reyna, 9 for 16, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jorge Reyna, your leading rusher as well, 9 carries, 29 yards, no touchdowns. And Larry Harrington, just the 1 catch for 30 yards. He's your leading receiver in terms of yardage. 1 catch, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. Taking a look over at the team stats, 5 for 5 on 4th down for San Antonio, and that definitely moved the needle. So when you compare 3rd and 4th down, they missed 5 third downs but completed all 5 4th downs, which means even though they weren't converting their 3rd downs and got into 4th down, they completed them. Simple as that. They were able to make do, move the chains when they needed to, score touchdowns, exactly what they had to do to move the ball down the field. It was a very, very good game for them. Complete opposite for Tucson on the other side, 1 for 6 and 1 for 2 on 3rd and 4th down, respectively. San Antonio, 275 total yards to 165 for Tucson. And again, a lot of that, I think, stems from roughly the first quarter, first half, where San Antonio just seemed like they had the ball constantly. Passing yards, roughly the same, give or take, obviously 50 yards of a difference, but Collazo again, 12 of 17, pretty accurate, only missing 5 attempts right there, no interceptions to speak of, just the 1 for Jorge Reyna when it comes to interceptions. 9 of 16, not the best day at the office, still over 50%, however, so a pretty good passing day all around. Rushing favors San Antonio. Callie Rashad was rushing really, really well. Collazo had a couple of scrambles too. 29 total attempts for San Antonio, which, again, they're starting to kind of balance out this offense and figure out how to run, how to pass. It's really good. It's really good. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from San Antonio offensively here. On the Rushing side for Tucson, only 62 yards of 19 carries. Half of that's Jorge Reyna. They just could not get the running game going. San Antonio's defense was able to shut it down, and they forced a turnover on downs on the first possession. Tucson did not get the ball offensively until 1 minute and 1 second left in the first quarter because San Antonio scored a touchdown, not an onside kick, but a kickoff hit an up man. They recovered it. They're up 14-0, and then they go 4 and out. Tucson goes 4 and out, and San Antonio just takes over. So they're pretty much playing keep away at that point. 0 for 1 on field goals for Kevin Macias. Tucson, roughly the same penalties and stuff like that, just the 1 interception. But overall, yeah, it was kind of San Antonio dominating this game. Mike Miller picked off Jorge Reyna for the 1 interception. Cali Rashad was running really well. Collazo was pretty decisive when it came to passing. Again, 12 of 17. I wouldn't say it was like surgical or anything like that, but at the same time, he was able to go through his progressions. He took off and scrambled when he needed to, dumped the ball off when he needed to. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good way for San Antonio to kind of come out, flex their muscle, lead 28-6 at the half. And then I wouldn't say they coasted, but Tucson put up a little bit of a fight to make it look more of a respectable score, because at the end of the third quarter, it was 41-12, and the blowout was out. Excuse me. And then, Austin Upshaw with a 20-yard touchdown there in the fourth quarter to kind of just put a cap end on it until Larry Harrington put in a garbage time 30-yard touchdown for Tucson. And that's where we have it, a 20-point victory for San Antonio. Gunslingers looked really good. Tucson kind of back to the drawing board. They've excuse me, I apologize. But for Tucson, it's more or less of like they have these good games, they look good sometimes, and then other times it just looks like they fall off a cliff. San Antonio slowly putting stuff together, and yeah, that's where we just kind of have it. So let's go take a look at our final recap, our bets. We'll get out of here. All right, so we've seen the highlights, lowlights, turnovers, sacks, touchdowns, what have you. Let's take a look at our stats and everything as they pop up over my face. Let's get into the final recap of Week 11. We have a 52-37 victory in favor of Vegas. And we'll talk all about it here in a second. Let's talk about game leaders. Dalton Snead, 14 of 32, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Ron Brown, 11 carries, 50 yards for 3 touchdowns. And Jamal Miles, 5 catches, 54 yards, no touchdowns. Jaden DeLora, 11 of 17, 108 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Antonio Wimbush, 10 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. And CJ Wyndham, 2 catches, 31 yards, and 1 touchdown. Going over to the team stats on the right side, 5 for 10 and 2 for 4 on 3rd and 4th down for Arizona, 3 for 6 and 1 for 1 for Vegas. So again, both 50% for both teams on 3rd down. Total yards favor the Rattlers because, well, they had to play catch up for most of the game, it seemed, and that's why Dalton Snead was throwing 32 passes in this game. Rushing yards, 89 rushing yards for Vegas, 72 of those for Antonio Wimbush. So he was your bell cow. Rushing on the other side, 50 yards for Ron Brown Jr. So again, kind of your bell cow. They did have, Snead, Miles, your usual suspects kind of running the ball there. Field goals, 1 for 2 for Arizona, 1 for 1 for Vegas. Penalties favor the Nighthawks, only 16 penalty yards, but they did have 4 penalties, 42 for that. And you figure when you look at a score like this, 52-37, you figure what did Vegas do to take the ball away and get themselves in position there were no turnovers. No turnovers in this game, no picks, no fumbles, no nothing like that. Vegas just kind of flexed their muscles, and it kind of comes down to, that 4th down efficiency, not hitting those 4th downs and kind of utilizing the quarters. So Antonio Wimbush having that touchdown at the end of the first quarter, or towards the end of the first quarter, and then being able to have a Ben Darby 38-yard field goal, that's kind of how it just goes. Here's my thing about it, though. Antonio Wimbush had himself a day. He had himself a day at the end of the third quarter, roughly around the end of the third quarter. He has that 48-yard or 47-yard kick return touchdown. And it's just kind of back and forth after that second quarter. But that, I think, was the dagger to me. When you go up 15 points right there, yes, Arizona's coming back. Ron Brown scores a touchdown in the fourth quarter. He scores another touchdown later in the fourth quarter. But at that point, Vegas is kind of, match and serve when it comes to that. But the ability for Vegas to score 17 points in that second quarter and really kind of just keep pressure on Arizona, they only scored double-digit points in that fourth quarter. So being able to hold Arizona to single-digit points through the first 3 quarters, and the way that their special teams was played, the kick returns, the 2 blocked extra points, even Evans missing a field goal. It was just a very good game for Vegas. Special teams, defensively, their offense was clicking. You had Quentin Randolph have multiple touchdowns. CJ Wyndham caught a touchdown. Vegas just looked really good. This is just one of those games where, to me, Arizona just did not look good. Like, I don't know if they just got off the bus and didn't have confidence, or if Vegas just exuded the confidence more than them. But Vegas wanted to send a message, it seemed like, in this game, and the message, I think, was received. Is we are going to do what we have to do to win this game. That's how we have it. Now, there was a fumble in this game, but it was recovered by Arizona. Ron Brown did recover his own fumble in the end zone, so it was a touchdown. But other than that, again, no turnovers to speak of, no nothing like that. And yeah, that's kind of where we have it. You have Vegas just kind of going, hey, this is our game. You're going to play our game. And they just kind of took control of it. Arizona came back when they had to, but overall it was kind of too little too late. They just could not get the stops necessary, as Vegas was just kind of rolling through most of it. So that's where we have it for this one. 52-37, Vegas knocks off your defending champions. Let's go take a look at our bets. We'll get out of here. We won. Northern Arizona covered. And I don't have my get up because I don't really win bets anymore. So I'll just flash my wallet at you. We won money. Yay. No, we didn't win this one. It was very close. Just a few points off, just a few yards off. Just one of those games where you just kind of sit there and go, why couldn't you score one more? Nope, not this one either. Arizona money line. Oh, man, maybe Arizona should just fold as a team after that. I'm just kidding. No, that's no, I'm just kidding. Just a horrible bet. I mean, Vegas came out looking raring to go, and that's exactly what they did. And that is it for our Week 11 Saturday recap. We move on to Week 12. We're all caught back up and everything along those lines. We got 1 game on Friday, 6 games on Saturday, a whole plate of indoor football league action. And if you can believe it, we have, 2 months left in the year until playoffs start. So still plenty of time, plenty of opportunities for teams to make their case for the playoffs, or in the rare event, to drop completely out of the standings. So with that being said, I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. If you feel like you want to, or if you haven't already, like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that cool, awesome, fun, neat stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next video as I have to edit all of this stuff, get all Week 12 prepped and ready to go. But until then, I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, see ya.